know this school year has been unlike any other. With its ups and downs and twists and turns and highs and lows, it's been stressful for everyone. Yet somehow, here we sit exactly halfway through the school year. So tomorrow, Thursday, January 21st, marks the start of the second semester. This also means that schedules will be changing for many students. It also means we only have 90 days left of school. Now, I know many of you have been on Parent Portal for weeks now, scoping out your schedule, trying to see what you're going to have for next semester. And that's great, but as we always want to caution you, schedules are constantly being updated up till the very last minute. So what you've seen in there may not be accurate. So what does this all mean for you? First off, only semester-long classes are changing, meaning your core classes like math, science, ELA, social studies, they will stay exactly the same. If you're in band, chorus, or strings, academic prep, or resource class, they will stay exactly the same. Those are all year-long classes that will not change. It's most of the electives that are going to be changing. There are some exceptions. There's a couple other electives that stay all year long, but rather than go through a list of what is this and what is that, let's just keep this very simple. And I'll jump on the computer here and kind of demonstrate what you're going to be looking at. All right, so now that I'm on the computer, let's talk about what you need to do as a student and or parent to help your student. So starting this morning, the teachers that teach these semester-long classes that are ending today have begun removing those classrooms, meaning they will no longer show up on your child's Google Classroom homepage. In fact, by the time you're watching this video, depending on what time it is, they may already be gone. So around 12 o'clock today, so that's noon today, teachers are going to begin adding students to their new Google Classrooms. So then they'll be working on that all afternoon. So starting at 12 o'clock today, they're going to start adding students to their Google Classroom, so you'll be ready for class starting tomorrow, January 21st. So what do you need to do? You need to wait until 3 o'clock today. Teachers should be done by 3 o'clock and go to your Google Classroom homepage. So students, you know this, but parents, you'd hit the Google Apps waffle here and click Classroom, and this is your Google Classroom homepage. And this is where you can see all of your students' Google Classrooms. They should not have that many. In fact, we're going to cut it down to 9 or so when they're done here. So what you'll see, and this is actually a good example, is you should be invited to, yours won't say teach this class because you're a student, but you should be invited to join a class as a student. So you're going to just hit accept for those new invitations that you just got starting at 3 o'clock today. Once you accept that, then you'll be entered as a student into the classroom. Okay, so as of 3 p.m. today, Wednesday, you should have 8 total classes in your Google Classroom. You might have a couple extra, which I'll explain. Your Google Classroom will look more like this than the last one I showed you, except it'll have pictures of your teachers instead of just my face like 9 times, which is kind of odd. But anyway, you want to make sure that you have 8 total classes that are 4 A-Day classes and 4 B-Day classes. And a real easy way to check to make sure you have everything and just to keep yourself organized is you can actually move these classes to reorganize. So what I would do is if you just click on this, you could drag it. So I'll do my 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. So I know now that I've got all of my A-Day classes. Now put my 1B, 2B, 3B, 4B. Done. So now I know I've got all of my classes lined up, and I've already accepted the invitation to all of them, and I can go into that class to look at whatever the teacher is going to be posting. And whatever grade you're in, you should also have that grade level Google Classroom. So if you're 6th grade, you'll have mine. If 7th grade, we'll have Mr. Thayer's. In 8th grade, we'll have Miss Edwards. If you are not in your grade level Google Classroom, please email the grade level administrator and ask them to add you. Maybe somehow you missed it, or your name was just somehow missed. because there is important information that is sent out through these Google Classrooms that you could be missing out on. Another thing to note is if you did not have PE, that's physical education / health, first semester, then you should have it second semester. See, this is a PE class here. So if for some reason you did not have it first semester and you still don't have it second semester, please email your grade level administrator so that way we can make sure that we get you added to PE. Another thing to note is that at the beginning of this semester, we have created some additional support classes for our students. We know that this virtual learning and even the hybrid learning has created some additional stress for our students and parents. And we want to try to give, again, just some additional support and time for students to make sure they're caught up and up to speed on everything. So we've created what are called study hall supports or study hall support classes. So this isn't a free time for you just to go play games or do whatever you want, but it's a time for you to get additional help or support from a teacher that's in this building. So so I got an example right here. This 2A would be study hall support. And you could get 1 or 2 of these, or depending on maybe if you were really struggling first semester, you could get even more. But this is a time where you're expected to attend that class at the scheduled time, and the teacher will actually have a live session at the beginning. They'll check in with you and they'll be able to make sure you're caught up on your assignments, maybe give you some guidance and check in to make sure everything's okay. But the general goal for this time is for you to have additional time to work on any assignments for and study for your core classes. That's your math, your English language arts, science, and social studies. So that's why if you see a study hall support, that should give you kind of a hint as to what that's all about. Again, you are going to be expected to still attend that class, so that way the teacher can make sure you're marked present, and hopefully you can use that time wisely to make sure you're staying up with all your assignments. I hope that kind of explains to you how you can make sure that all of your classes are accurate for the second semester. Remember, you can always check your schedule by going to the Alice Drive parent portal, which you can go to right from our website, which is adm.sumterschools.net. And if you click this, if you just hover over the parents here and click parent portal, that will allow you to log in with that unique information that we gave each student during our car rider line at the very beginning of the school year. If for some reason you don't have the login information, that's a username and password for parent portal, please contact the school. You can call or send an email to a grade level administrator or a guidance counselor, and we can get that information to you. Because it's not the same username and password as for your Google Classroom, unfortunately. It's a different system. But it's really important because you can see your grades and you can see your schedule. But your schedule should be pretty obvious from looking at your Google Classroom like this as well. So I hope that helps everyone. And as always, if you have any questions, please go ahead and reach out to someone at the school. Thank you.